Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game, where I am back today with another One Piece market watch. I'm going to be going over all the pricing, and just as a sort of thesis for this video, if you have not, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, number very down, very good for player, very bad for collector, very bad for scalper, so, you know, collectors, who cares, scalpers, very good, I like this. Let's go ahead and get into it, but firstly, I did want to say, if you are interested in competitively focused One Piece content, please do check out my Patreon, which you can find linked in the description below. And of course, if you're interested in Battle Spirit Saga content or Gate Roller content or a few other, you know, indie card games and stuff that'll be coming over the next few weeks, and you should subscribe to the channel. You should subscribe if you're interested in One Piece content, of course, and like this video if you do enjoy these market watches. They usually do quite well, and I figure people enjoy them, so I try to do them. I'm probably not going to do them every week because, like, you know, something usually has to happen, but like every few weeks. Anyway. Shilling over, let's go ahead and jump right into it. 1 minute of shilling. So, the prices are kind of as expectedly high, but also not that high. If you remember where the cases of set 1 were, they're still at about $3,000, so that hasn't changed, and that's still an astronomical price to pay. And I don't think there is any justification to be paying that kind of price. But if you guys remember from last time, the set 1 boxes were over $300, and they've depressed down to about $235. And the reason for this is there isn't a nostalgia, right? There isn't like a, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon effect where, like, oh, well, it's the very first set of the game, you know? Like, you can pretty much never get as much value out of those boxes as you put into buying them sealed, because a lot of the value comes from the fact that they're aged, that they're genuinely rare, that there's a nostalgia to that. Like there's a huge number of these external factors, which One Piece does not have. There is, this is a card game that released within the last 12 months. And yes, it's a beloved IP, and maybe in 10, 20 years, if this game is still going in that time, we might see something like that happen. It might be faster than that because, you know, internet and such, things just go fucking faster. But either way, it would be ridiculous to expect people to pay significantly more than the potential value of the cards inside. And because we have just been seeing prices taking an absolute hammering over the last few months, pretty much constantly, to the point, I mean, I'm probably going to be picking up alt arts now from set 1 because they're so cheap. Yeah, it's crazy. There's very few things that have held their kind of, I mean, to some degree, overinflated value. Anyway, yeah, cases of set 2 at $1,700, again, more than I would pay, but not the worst. Cases of set 3 at $2,700, which is ridiculous, of set 4, $1,600. Now, I believe retail is something like $1,200 or $1,300, so not a huge premium, but, like, yeah, as a general rule, I think, unless you are a YouTuber who can expense the purchasing of sealed product for content purposes, I don't think it's worth it's worth, like, buying the sealed product at these prices. Like, just get singles. Obviously, starter decks are different, which, by the way, have entered my locals. My locals has all the starters besides the red one. I think the red one sold out immediately, but, like, they have all the others, so there are starter decks going out into the wild. We're getting restocks. Anyway, let's continue. So, super pre-release starters, again, astronomical prices, $600. These are genuinely just collectors, right? Like, the only reason you are buying super pre-release starters decks is to either speculate or to collect. The only reasons, right? No one is buying these to crack open and use. Like, I don't think anyone really cares about max rarity being a super pre-release stamp, especially because almost all the really good cards we know are getting an alternate art reprint that looks way better in the upcoming tournament packs. So, yeah, the normal starter decks, though, are, you know, decreasing in price. This set of 4 is $150, still a bit astronomically high, but not the worst. Obviously, if we get down past the super pre-release ones, we see $40 for the red one, not good, but lower than last time. 35, 30 on purple and green. And then if we go on to page 2, blue down at about 30. Black at $20, very reasonable. Film at 20, this is basically retail. So, yeah, you get down into this sort of price range and things start looking actually reasonably normal, which is pretty nice. If we move over into the promotion cards, promo cards, some pretty interesting prices. So, of course, we are seeing a lot of the new tournament promos enter the market. Of course, you know, Serial Luffy still very high. Super Release Winner, this is, again, just for speculators and collectors. Chopper, I think, a little overpriced. $600. I think you would, you know, I mean, let's see who's actually buying them, but I feel like people are probably struggling to actually liquidate at that kind of price with how many are constantly, you know, coming onto the market. We can see the last sale was 2 weeks ago. right? The last sale was 2 weeks ago at 600 bucks. No one has bought in 2 weeks. That tells you the price is too high. So all these people here who have one listed each, you're gonna have to start dropping your prices if you want to be if you want these choppers to be selling. Now, obviously, as an aside, and I guess I'll talk about this now. So we know choppers are going to be leaving circulation, right? So from July, you will no longer be able to get them from the major tournaments. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only time you'll ever be able to get them, but we don't know any other way you're going to be able to get them. So it's possible that that might light a fire under some people's asses and see prices go up. However, it's a top 64 promo. It's pretty easy to get. There are a lot of tournaments between now and the distribution of them stopping. I think Chopper is probably going to stabilize at about 300 bucks. I don't really think it should be more than that. It's top 64 promo. I think absolutely you get top 64. You deserve a nice little payday. It should fund pretty much your trip to the event. I think that's reasonable. But certainly, you know, what happens with all these events is at the start, the price is really, really high. I sold mine to a reseller for more than, for about what they're going for right now. So, yeah, like they start off really high and then they just go lower, 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 lower. And I'm really looking forward to that because I need to pick up all the Admirals, which are confirmed to be starting from July, and I want 4 of each. So I really hope those decrease in price considerably. Anyway, let's get back into it. The winner promo. So you had to you had to literally win, I believe. Oh no, is this top 30? I believe it's top 32. Not the actual winner ones. So these top 32 promos are, of course, spendy at 150 bucks each, which means for the set of 6, you know, you get in top 32, you're making a tidy sum. The Dons are at ridiculous prices. No one is paying these. Surely no one is buying these Dons at 135 bucks. There's no chance, right? Surely. Surely, 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 surely. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is unreal. Guys, you can literally get this whole set in Japanese, the entire thing for like 30 bucks. Unreal. These Dons, I mean, sell them. I'm selling mine the second I get it. Basically, as long as you don't get Usopp or, for some reason, Frankie. 40 bucks for Frankie. Everyone else at 100 plus. That's crazy. The entry promos are, like, sky high as well. Like, basically, if you get into a tournament, like, if you, I guess that's why in NA it's so hard to get into a tournament that there's issues with it. At least in EU, like, you can be pretty confident, like, in a season you should get 1 or 2. And if you're on it. But, yeah, promo price is absolutely doing crazy bits on all these new tournament ones. Into the participant ones, you know, I mean, these are obviously all like really, really nice. No, Jack's also down. I'm meaning to get rid of mine. Winner Smoke at about 40 bucks. That's reasonable. And then all these winner promos. The Gold Don is about 30 bucks as well. The winner promos at a sort of stable, you know, kind of amount, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I think this is pretty reasonable. And then, of course, I need to pick up my Bartolomeos, actually, and 25 bucks is pretty damn cheap, so I might have to do that one. But they're going to be given out for a while longer, so I'll probably hold off until they're all in circulation. But there we go. That's it for the promos. Pretty reasonable pricing. The one thing I will say is if we go over to the Film Red promo pack, because we do actually need those, Sunny-kun at about 4 bucks, and Luffy at about 4 bucks as well. These are cards, and Gordon as well, that all see play. So if you picked up your Film Red promo packs a while ago, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself because you have all these promos at playsets. Anyway, on to Romance Dawn. How are the alt arts doing? Well, there's been basically no movement whatsoever. Pretty much everything is about where it is. Sanji, I think, has decreased a little bit. I think Doffy has increased a little bit. And Nami is exactly where she was before. If we go on to set 1, SR's Zoro, about 100 bucks where it was. Law, about 80. Hancock, about 70. Mihawk, about 35. Like 25 on Kid. 20 bucks on Alt Kaido. Jesus, I might pick up some of these at that price. I mean, that is ridiculous. And then, of course, 20 bucks on the base rarity Zoro, which is one of the only ones that really matters, SR-wise, and 13 on Law. I imagine this saw an uptick after Cross 1 Peoria. What was this? The height in Feb. Yeah, so Cross will have won the event around here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Cross will have won around here, 15th, 16th, and you can see there's been a strong uptick over the last week of people picking them up because everyone's a sheep, and I'm not surprised. Bad news, guys. You need to be good at the game to cook with Law. You can't just play the deck. In terms of the secret rares, Manga Shanks about 80-50. Reasonable value for manga cards. 80 bucks on Alt Yamato. This is seeing more play in Kinney lists. 20 bucks on the Alt Shanks. 22 on Yamato again because it sees play. And 8 bucks on Shanks. Jesus. Onto the leaders, Zoro at about 200. I think you're probably struggling to find people actually buying them, though, because it's been sitting around this for quite a while. If we go in and have a little look here, we see that the last sale was... Oh, no, you know what? I'm chatting shit. There have been multiple sales over the last week, so tell you what, very easy to liquidate in America, not so in the UK. A lot of people sitting on these trying to get money for them that they're not going to get. Law, of course, is sitting pretty, but pretty much the rest of these are about where they've been before. I think a little bit of hype for Blurple Croc, though. I believe this has increased over the last few days. Since over the last month, a consistent uptick, but since we started seeing those card reveals that really do look like they're helping Blurple, it does seem like a nice little bit of an uptick here for people picking them up early. So shout outs to you guys. All right, let's look on set 2 now. The rare alts, again, very low prices. I already have 2 of these. I'm gonna finish this play set. I want to play the Doffy deck in set 4, so I'll be needing these. Sadie, very, very cheap. Buggy, very, very cheap. Margot, dirt cheap. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. And of course, Garp, my man, Garp, #1, most expensive. Hype for the Galaxy Impact, respect. Onto the SRs, Manga Ace up at $900, very, very respectable. Whitebeard down to sub 70, Borsalino sub 40. I mean, these are just so cheap. Nami at $20, Jesus. Eva at like 50. Okay, so basically, like all the alt arts are like through the fucking floor. Which, to be fair, we said like Whitebeard at $9. All the admirals at like 3 to 5, unreal. If we go to the alts, Kuzan Secret has held its value. It has been 40 pretty consistently. The alt art also about 60, so this one has held value. But Uta has crashed even further. The base rarity because no one's buying them. The alt had some semblance of value. And then if we look at the alt leaders, again, these have been crashing too. Whitebeard at about 140. This probably is selling because people do really like the character. Smoker was, I believe you remember last time, up like over 150, I think almost $200. That is capitulated down to something slightly more reasonable. Kinemon at about 95. Eva at 70, I think it's being a bit undervalued. Magellan at 60, fair enough. Garp at 50, I might even pick up a Garp. Why is Zephyr the cheapest one? This makes no sense. The leader's great. But if we look here in terms of the sales on Whitebeard, they have been selling consistently, about a few a day. So yeah. And of course you can see like, you know, peak in March, 200. And then I think the ban was announced here. I think this was when the ban was announced. And then, steady decline. But there we go. That is it for this market watch. Overall, things are looking up. I think things are looking up. Prices are down, which means if you want to be buying stuff, now is a pretty good time to do it. There's not a great deal further for them to fall, so you're not going to feel horrible like I do about buying all my alts for my max rarity deck early. Yeah, I definitely don't feel terrible. But yeah, overall, I'm happy to see that these single prices remaining very, very low. We're starting to see starter decks come down in price. They're entering circulation again. Oh my god, people can play the game. So almost all the barriers are removed. All that the Bandai needs to do now is get big enough tournaments and enough tournaments to meet demand. In EU, it's not perfect. I think they're probably meeting maybe 70% of demand, 60% of demand, maybe 80 at a push, like, depending. They're doing much better than an NA, where events sell out like that, and there's, you know, barely any events. Like, there's no, like, I think in NA they're probably meeting 30 to 40% of demand, so they really need to push more events in NA, and we need more events in the EU. But going into 2024, I'm expecting that to improve. Hopefully it improves throughout the rest later part of this year as well. I understand that a lot of it has just been due to COVID restrictions and like contracts with other games being honored, like post-COVID, like a whole thing, and like this is the first year things have been fire, so it's like a whole thing. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys found this useful. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Are there any alt arts you guys are planning on picking up? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, of course, like it, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers.